So hello guys, welcome back to channel Get to Byte. As in the last video we get to know about the system architecture and some of the concepts which are required to know when we are programming for the peripherals of our ARM based processors, like the concept of the APB, EHB and all such things, and the how to enable these buses when we are using the particular peripherals. Now in this video I am going to tell you on how the pinout for using these peripherals, like for ADC1, UART, time 1, these are the like peripherals. And now each peripheral has a like for UART we have RxTx pins, for ADC we have analog channels, for SPI it's pinout and all such things. So now like in STM32F103 microcontroller, they like depending upon the package we have 64 or 100 pins or the 36 pins, okay, or the 48 pins, and depending upon that depends upon our package. Now so correspondingly to the each pin name that our corresponding pin package has, there are the particular pin can have a main function, that is the function it will perform or the way it will perform after a reset. And we can also configure these pins to their corresponding the functions. Like if you will see to this pin out, so particular pin has number of features, like if you see to 22, it is PB11 normal GPIO pin, SDA2, RX3 is for UART receiver, SDA is for our I2C protocol, TXC4 is like a timer channel. So each pin has a number of alternate functions also, apart from just being a normal GPIO input output pin, as you can see in this pinout. So we have to understand on how to enable those alternate functions and what thing is the behind them. So in this video we are going to do that thing only. It's going to be a short video. I will try to make it concise and as easy as possible, so as to convey the best knowledge to you. And as your support, do subscribe to the channel. To all the viewers who are viewing the video of this channel for the first time, do subscribe to the channel and mention down your views on the comment section. So guys, now to understand these alternate functions things and its concept, the thing which you need to first, like I will just give you a brief overview from the pinout. Like if you go and see to this pin number, like if for the timer 1 there are 4 channels, T1C1, T1C2, T1C3, T1C4, and all these are on the port A, port 11 to 8. Same way for the channels of the T2. If for the like let me just show you, for the T3 first, T3 we have 4 channels also, T3C4, T3C3, T3C2, T3C1 on the port B and the port A pins. And the T3 channels like T3C1 and C2 are here. Same way we have T3C1 also on the PB4. Same way, like the T3C1 channel can be operated from PA6 pin also and from the PB4 pin also. Same way out for the T2C2 channel, like the channel 2 of the timer 4, it is on the PB5 and it is also on the PA1 pin of our microcontroller. So like you can see that a particular pin is not only having multiple features, but a feature like a timer 3 channel 1 or channel 2 channel 1 is also on 2 pins. It is on the PA6 also and also on the PB4 also. Same way, if you see the pin out closely, you will see many such combinations and many such similarities. So what thing is it, like in the, if you will see here, RxTx1 is on PA9 and PA10, and RX1TX1 is also on the PB6 and PB7. So this is where the concept of our alternate functions default and remap come. So now like alternate function input output and debug configuration registers and these settings. So like we have in our microcontroller oscillator for our LSE, okay, oscillator 32 input and output, they are connected on the PC14 and PC15 pins, okay, like you can see here. So we can configure, if we are not using any LSE, we can directly configure them for using our GPIO ports. Same way out, if we come to the timer peripheral and timer alternate function remapping, we can have like see here that timer 4 channels can be used on these pins also and on these pins also. Timer 3 pins also can be used on all such kind of pins depending upon our configuration. Timer 2, timer 1 and all such kind of things. And these mapping is done on these registers which are called which are these registers: timer, the alternate function remap, and debug input output configuration register. So you can see here that we can see time 1 underscore remap, time 2 underscore remap, USART 1 remap, USART 2 remap. So for a particular family of microcontroller which you are using, you can see that what all features on what all pinouts it supports the particular peripheral. Like as you can see here, the STM32F103, it has two RX1 TX1 ports. Okay, RX1 here also and RXTX1 here also. Same way for it supports T2. If we come timer 2 channels, it supports these channels also for the timer 2 C2, and it supports channels on here also. As you can see here, we can see timer 2 C2, timer 2 C2 here again also, and all such kind of things. So this is set up on this. So now when we are programming, we're going to use a particular peripheral for USART or for our input output capture or such kind of things. So we have to use these registers, and we will map the corresponding bits of these to the pins which we are using for using that particular register. So I will be coming to that when we will be using the peripheral one by one, but I just want to tell you guys that there are a lot of features when it comes to 32-bit microcontrollers, because these things are not available in STM8 or AVR 8-bit microcontrollers. The pins have support multiple features, but a feature is not supported by multiple pins. Whereas in 32-bit microcontrollers like STM32, a feature is also supported by multiple pins. Like you can see here again, USART 1, if we don't remap it, it will be to PA9, PA10, and if we remap it, then it will be PB6 and PB7. Okay, and same way for external interrupt configuration registers, and there are a number of alternate function registers also. Okay, and same way we have one more like configuration register, like in the controllers in the family of microcontroller which supports timers up to time 10, time 9 and extra features, then for those also. Now another thing which is important to tell you guys is that how to see that which feature is supported by a microcontroller. Like if you go to the particular, like I am using STM32F103C8. So if you go to its data sheet, the data sheet is different from its reference manual. So like I have STM32F103 this XB microcontroller, which is okay. So it's on its data brief. You can see that how many USARTs it supports, how many I2C it supports, how many SPI it supports, and going to its this pinout and pin description, and going to this table, you can see that what all pins it supports. Also, if you want to see in detail about the device overview and all such kind of things, so in the description part and in the timer overview or the overview section, you can see all the peripherals which your microcontroller support, because the reference manuals are being constructed by considering that it is you are using STM32F103, 02, 03 or F057, but under these also there are many divisions depending upon which your peripherals vary a lot. Okay, so you just have to take care of that also and just see the corresponding registers. Now that's it for this video. Last two videos have been bit conceptual, like in the first I have told you about system architecture and this in the alternate function. Now in the next I will be starting with the timer counter peripheral first, and will be generating delay using the timer 2 peripheral of our microcontroller. Okay, and using the time based module, and telling you things about that also. And then in the corresponding videos we will be generating the PWM pins signals using the general purpose and the advanced control timers. So that's it for now guys, and stay tuned for the next video, and till then subscribe the channel and mention down your views in the below comment section, and stay safe.